The WNBA Finals will debut. The Las Vegas Aces versus the Phoenix Mercury. And I'm telling you right now, this is probably going to be one of the lowest rated WNBA Finals. And
the WNBA's reigning queen, A'ja Wilson, is on the verge of a complete meltdown, but this isn't about a missed shot, a tough loss, or a bad play. It's about a profound sense of betrayal. A devastating truth that has been festering behind the scenes for months. She is watching the legacy she bled for, the league she carried on her back, get completely erased in real time by the very system she thought she was building. And now, with the world watching this supposed championship celebration, that toxic truth is finally exploding into public view.
The WNBA has become the laughingstock of all sports, man, because the ticket prices are horrendous. This is a championship.
This was supposed to be the WNBA's crowning moment, a championship series led by its most celebrated and dominant stars. Instead, it's devolved into a national embarrassment. The ticket prices for the WNBA Finals are so shockingly low. They've become a running joke across the entire sports world. We're not talking about a preseason scrimmage. This is the pinnacle of the sport, the championship game, and you can get a seat for less than the price of a greasy stadium hot dog. This financial disaster is a humiliating slap in the face to every veteran player, screaming one thing loud and clear for everyone to hear. Without Caitlin Clark, the league is worthless. But the public insult of the ticket prices was just the beginning of the disrespect.
You mean to tell me Caitlin Clark's signature Nike t-shirt costs more than these damn WNBA final tickets? And I'm here to tell you, oh yeah, they do. I mean, 4-time WNBA MVP A'ja Wilson can't even get tickets up to $50. Bro, this is bad. I mean, this is beyond bad. This just tells you the state of this.
You have to imagine what a 4-time MVP like A'ja Wilson truly thinks when she scrolls online and sees that Caitlin Clark's signature Nike t-shirt, a simple piece of mass-produced cotton, costs significantly more than a ticket to her own championship game. This isn't just about dollars and cents, it's a brutal public statement on brand power. It tells the world in no uncertain terms that a rookie's brand is more valuable, more desirable, and more culturally relevant than the league's biggest annual event. The WNBA had over a decade to make A'ja a household name, but failed. Nike and the media machine did it for Clark in a matter of months, exposing the league's marketing incompetence as a complete and utter house of cards.
Not to mention, we got none other than Dewana Bonner, former Indiana Fever, quit the team herself in the talk and conversation of this WNBA Finals, and more importantly, her significant other, Alyssa Thomas, has found herself in some hot water as well, with not really speaking about the current state of the
This simmering resentment didn't just stay behind closed doors, it spilled onto the court in the most vicious way imaginable. Throughout the season, Caitlin Clark has been treated less like a fellow professional and more like a human piñata. The infamous hip check from Chennedy Carter wasn't just a hard foul, it was a message. It was a physical manifestation of the league's festering jealousy. These weren't just welcome to the league moments. They were targeted, aggressive acts born from the frustration that the league itself had cultivated. The veterans weren't just mad at Clark, they were furious that the system they served for years had discarded them for a new shiny object.
Now we know the controversy that led up to this game is pretty much attached to Caitlin's name. That is the Las Vegas Aces actually knocking off Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Well, Caitlin did not play, but we know the referees kind of had a hand in that, we should say, with kind of making sure the Las Vegas Aces was pushed to making it to.
As this on-court war against Clark escalated, the silence from the other legends of the game became downright deafening. Where were the powerful voices like Alyssa Thomas or Jonquel Jones? Their quiet complicity raises a chilling question. Was their silence a sign of approval, or was it a product of fear? There are whispers of a hidden gag order, a directive from the league office to not rock the boat. Players are allegedly trapped, terrified of being blackballed if they speak out against Clark, but equally afraid of alienating their veteran peers by defending her. This forced neutrality has created a toxic environment of paranoia where no one knows who to trust.
A watchable basketball product possible between the two teams left standing, not to decimate it by injury. Kathy Ebert really outdid it herself. Can't imagine why the world is calling for
The league's desperation reached its peak with a dark rumor that is now widely accepted as fact. The path to the finals was intentionally manipulated. The theory suggests that league officials influenced referees to ensure the Las Vegas Aces made it through, a desperate last-ditch effort to keep Caitlin Clark off the biggest stage. They wanted to prove that the old guard, led by Oja Wilson, could still carry the ratings and command respect on their own. It was a pathetic power play to reassert control over a narrative that had spiraled out of their hands, but the plan backfired catastrophically, creating a disaster finals matchup that nobody wanted to watch.
Very, very bad. The face of the league, they wanted to be her, and yeah, the plan really ain't planning.
The league isn't solely to blame for this mess. The sports media played a critical role in this circus. Giants like ESPN anointed Caitlin Clark as the savior of the WNBA before she ever played a single professional minute. They crafted a narrative that she alone was the messiah who would lift the league from obscurity. This created an impossible and deeply unfair situation for veterans like Asia, who were suddenly reduced to being side characters and antagonists in their own story. The media didn't just report on the news, they manufactured a queen, and in doing so, declared the old monarchy dead. And where was the league's commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, during all of this chaos? Her silence has been her most damning indictment. When Clark was being physically targeted on the court, Engelbert's response was weak and delayed, a pathetic whisper when a roar was needed. When the finals ticket prices became a national joke, she offered no explanation, no strategy, no leadership. Her absence from the public discourse wasn't just a sign of incompetence. It felt like deliberate neglect, as if she was hiding in her office, hoping the storm would just pass. Her inaction has led to a near unanimous cry from fans and analysts: she must resign. This brings us back to Asia Wilson's most controversial comments, the ones the media labeled as bitter and racially charged. Months ago, she dared to say the quiet part out loud, that the unprecedented hype surrounding a new player had a lot to do with demographics. She wasn't attacking Caitlin Clark as a person, she was attacking the entire system, the media, the corporations, and the league itself, that only elevates a player to megastar status when she fits a certain non-black profile. She was called a jealous hater, but in reality she was exposing a truth so ugly that nobody wanted to acknowledge it. This entire saga has fractured the WNBA's locker rooms, splitting the league into two warring factions. On one side, you have the old guard, the veterans who feel abandoned and disrespected, with AJ Wilson as their reluctant figurehead. On the other, a smaller, much quieter group of players who see the Caitlin Clark effect as a rising tide that lifts all boats, bringing more money and attention to everyone. This internal Cold War is tearing the league apart from the inside, creating an atmosphere of us versus her that threatens to poison the sport for years to come. Ultimately, this all comes down to the cold, hard cash, the disastrous finals ratings, the empty arenas for non-Clark games, and the sponsorship dollars being funneled almost exclusively to one rookie all point to a league on the brink of a complete financial identity crisis. They have built their entire growth strategy around a single player, a 22-year-old cash cow, while the other 11 teams are left fighting for scraps. This isn't a sustainable business model. It's a ticking time bomb, and the league is showing no signs that it knows how to defuse it. This isn't just about one disastrous season, it's about the very soul of the WNBA. The league is hurtling towards an inevitable, brutal collision between its past and its future, and there will be casualties. Asia Wilson's supposed meltdown wasn't the end of the story. It was the first shot fired in a bitter war for the heart of the league, a war that is far from over. And as the confetti falls on a half-empty arena, one has to wonder if anyone will be left to celebrate when the fighting finally stops.